Are we live? Hey. Did I have a haircut? I did. Can't hear Calder. I can also hear myself. Wait, how did I? Oh wait, I have the stream unmuted. Hey, yeah, I caught this stream from the start. Yeah, we started a bit later today because I'm in the US right now, and
that should fix it.
we're thinking about maybe keeping this time too because it's at least it's sort of doable for people from the US.
There is no Eric today. Where's Eric? I don't see any Eric. Oh, I'll put up the names there. If you're wondering, Eric's been hosting the stream for it last many times.
Yes.
So I had to set it up, but OBS updated, and I wasn't able to do any Windows capture anymore. So now Jeroen is now literally a desktop capture. Which is very annoying, to say it mildly. But we have to do what we have, and I still need to figure out how I'm going to do the game showcase in a more further down the road of Fool.
Hey, I just banned somebody in Discord. That was fun.
Whoa!
There was this guy who was spamming like butt pictures for some reason. I have no idea. I never saw him before. Maybe I haven't been paying attention, but I just pressed ban. Zero tolerance policy.
Eric.
It was in Wooting Heights, yeah. Oh yeah, and hit that one, yeah.
Kept seeing messages, but there's no messages. Eric does indeed not look like a butt, but some may argue.
Yeah. So where's Eric? Oh,
honestly, do you know? I kind of forgot why he was here today. I just know we had to do the stream.
He's going camping, so this weekend is.
Oh right, he would leave today.
What do you call the? Translate. Google Translate. Pinkster. How do you translate Pinkster?
Pinkster? Something with Jesus Christ in a cave. That stuff. And then they call it vacation day.
Eh? Pink.
Message pings.
Why is this word? I know. Pinkster. White Sunday? Pentecost? Is that something?
I have no idea what the English name is for it.
I don't know.
Either case, I don't have it here either.
I think it's the day that Jesus goes to heaven, and it's a holiday in Holland. So Eric is his yearly traditional this weekend camping trip with the family. So that's where he is. No, it's not Good Friday because Good Friday is before, I think. Before Easter.
Is it? Oh, yeah.
So anyways, he should be going camping either today or this. I think he's leaving today, right? All the way until.
I think so, yeah.
Ascension Day. Yeah, Ascension Day.
Oh, you see? Jesus in the cave, but he disappeared today.
No. That's
not... He disappears.
No, he dies on Good Friday. No. Good Friday he dies, and then Easter he stands up, right? And then he just sort of leaves. and then I don't really know where he
What, he
goes.
walks
But anyway,
away?
but this weekend he goes to heaven because
Right.
it's 40. I think it's like 40 days after he rose from the dead. Pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure.
Right,
There's
but
no, he doesn't. He goes to heaven. He does like the.
he teleports to Narnia, Jeroen. Didn't you know that?
Oh, okay. Yeah, the story must have changed between me growing up and he goes to Star Wars on Monday. To Solo. Are you going to Solo, Calder?
Um, I want to, but isn't Deadpool 2 out as well?
Yes.
So I might catch Deadpool 2 first, and then do Solo a bit later.
Hey, maybe we can go to Solo together.
Oh yeah, true.
Mm.
That's a good idea. We can do it after Computex.
Yes.
That would be nice. It's a good chill moment.
Yeah. So next week, let me see. What day is it today? Today's Friday. Next week, Wednesday, I'll fly to Taiwan because Computex will be 5th of June to the 9th, and we wanted to make sure I was in Taiwan a little bit before to prevent any issues with Wooting 2 and also not be like in the airplane when the Kickstarter goes live.
Uh, I'm the only one in Taiwan right now. Jeroen is in New York, and but next week he'll be here with me in Taiwan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of insane. I arrive back on Holland on Monday and I fly out again on Wednesday.
Nice.
Yeah, and they still need to fix Eric's keyboard. I'm not
And you
sure
need
if
to fix mine too.
Yeah, but that's something
But you'll
Jamie
be
can
here.
do.
Oh, that's true. Let me grab it. Last
Yeah,
time
so
I went there.
just
I forgot to bring it with me. Oh, well, I forgot. I
yeah,
didn't really think about having to bring
yeah.
it.
So we got new PCBs for the Wooting 2 samples. And Oki mysteriously didn't work. And it turns out they swapped to resistors on the keyboard. Like I'm not sure how it happened, but it happened on every sample we got. And so we just need to swap those back, and then it'll be 100% perfect.
Yeah.
Huh? Oh, yeah, because Jamie is the name of engineer in Taiwan. That's why I'm saying like, oh, she can also change resistors. My engineers in Taiwan are their
Super
soldering
sick.
skills are so much better. It's insane.
Especially
I'm like,
Jamie, yeah.
yeah. You see those people in China and Taiwan solder, they're like magicians with the iron.
If we need free beta testers, we'll definitely give a ring. But the funny part right now is that everybody that has a Wooting 1 right now is basically already beta testing for the Wooting 2. Kind of. I
In a way,
mean,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Right. So I have here full size. I would be using it right now if it was not that the O key didn't work on this one, on this prototype, because of the, what is it, transistor issue. We need to change. I did test the numpad, and I have to be honest with you guys, I'm really not a full size guy. I was immediately annoyed how my sitting position was, because I literally had to, I could feel my whole spine twist when I tried typing. So it was a short experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all suffering making a full size version for you guys.
That's a
No.
good way to put it. But I think it's sort of like
I'll end up with a hernia. Full keyboards for life. I know it. People swear by it. I used to work with full size keyboards as well. We all had the big ass Logitech keyboard with the monitor on it and everything. I have no idea, like we just didn't type that time, I guess. Okay, or it was like this quick chat stuff.
yeah. Hey, but you need the screen and the more macro buttons. You know, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We have
I like it more quiet.
Rickson is very used to full-sized keyboards, not used to small ones. To be honest, you get very, very used to very, very fast the smaller the keyboard gets, including any kind of like hotkeys or something.
Yeah, but the only thing I've been like in a 60% phase, but I feel like working without arrow keys is really hard.
Yes, that's actually why when I bought the Leopold in this case, I really like the layout because still
Yeah.
it's very small form factor, but it still has the arrow keys.
Yeah.
But I've been working with a 60% keyboard these last couple of weeks to change up up a couple of things, and also because I had to do a lot of writing.
Yeah.
So I'd bring it with me, and I really enjoyed it. As in, and the arrow keys wasn't too much of an issue all of a sudden because on this particular keyboard, there's like 3 different methods you can do arrows, and there's also you can hold down function, and you have PL semicolon and what's that, the quotation key, which are then the arrow keys. So I actually went quite smooth because the only difference is I just had to hold down my thumb, but still making couple mistakes here and there. Yeah, still training it.
The problem I ran into is when it's okay when you have to do like lower arrow operations, but sometimes with programming you also want to do like Alt Shift arrow, and then like the key combination gets very complex.
That's why I like it to be on so right now in this situation, what I really didn't like when I had 60% the first time was that with my left hand, I also had to do the arrows, and then either like have to combine keys, it gets really weird. But now it's like on my right hand, and on my left hand, I can still do all the combos, and then with my right hand, just arrow it. So it's actually quite convenient.
Yeah, but I think like 75% is definitely superior layout.
Uh-oh. But no, I'm personally still a big fan also from in the 75% layouts. Yeah, 80% still good for me. I can just do less and smaller.
Oh.
Just need dedicated arrows. Yeah.
Okay, Dollar. First
right.
topic. What did you do? What did you do this week? Wait, what is last week already?
No. So program for today.
Yes.
Program. Oh yeah, so we have this one big topic we want to talk about today is the Wooting developer portal. That's what the whole stream is about actually. And
what?
And now Yoon has to do his best to bullshit a lot to get the stream time filled with this specific topic.
Wait, I completely forgot it. This stream will be about the developer portal.
He did not forget that this stream was about the developer portal, because that's why he's doing his best right now to be on the stream to start with in New York on a MacBook.
That's true.
From his girlfriend. Huh? So.
Oh my god, I don't have anything because I don't even have my laptop open. Dollar, you thought of it just now. Are you trying to set me up?
No. I'm not shitting you.
Stream schedule right before the stream, and you didn't mention developer portal once.
You can see. You can see that this was totally not. No, this was honestly not. This was honestly planned before, ahead of time.
Yes. Yeah. I just remembered, but I forgot.
Okay. So we just know that officially this was planned.
Yes.
This was not spontaneous idea that we had. Some kind of spontaneous idea. Okay. But don't worry.
We can still talk about it for a little bit.
No, we can do multiple things actually, because I also have the game full on my PC, which I'm able to show.
We're going to show it already?
Okay, we don't need to show it then. But it is the example that we can show. But we don't need to show it.
I thought it was going to be a surprise.
I said the name a couple of times. So, okay, but we haven't said what's going on. So let's just keep it till there, okay?
Change topic. This is a disaster.
All right. Let me just jump back to the gamepad topics here. and the numpad
Okay.
topic. Oh damn it! I just missed it. It just got away.
Miss what?
You can use arrows instead of numpad for GTA 5. Um, okay. No, no, no.
This is what happens when Eric doesn't prepare the stream. we're like, we're like the two kids just running around in circles. Like, what the fuck is happening? We need Eric to keep us in check.
I can. Um,
Okay, let's
so
revisit. Let's
yeah,
revisit.
yeah.
Let's make the schedule for what we're going to do on the stream. On stream, okay?
Okay, let's do it on stream. So we know that the
Okay.
main topic is Wooting developer portal. I can
Yes.
I can link a lot of stuff to that. Okay, we can talk first. Let's talk about where we came from, what we want, what we've done till so far, and then Wooting developer portal, how that comes into
Yeah.
play. How's that?
Yeah.
Talk about numpad. There, Dami is already doing it for us though.
Okay.
Talk about numpad.
That's what we did.
Developer portal.
That's good.
Okay. Do
Uh oh. Wooting too.
well. I don't remember number 3 though. Uh, but I'll if you have a Wooting order, sure. Um, okay, so numpad. Is there anything we still need to discuss about numpad before we go really into the developer portal? Had we shown that it has extra keys on the top? Probably we did, right? Okay.
Probably good.
Okay.
I
And
think,
do they work
I
actually?
think like the more interesting part regarding the Wooting 2 will be the
Okay.
stuff about Kickstarter, like the updates about Kickstarter.
Oh right. So we can do Kickstarter stuff after the developer portal.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Then we have like a really full schedule.
Okay.
Okay.
Is somebody taking notes? Because I know we're not.
Okay. Make notes. You guys know the schedule now.
Okay.
So now we just finished numpad. Okay. Let's get into the Wooting developer portal.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do this a little bit, maybe try interviewing Jeroen a little bit about Wooting developer portal also.
Sure.
So let's start with when we started with Wooting.
This will be on the quiz.
Quinn makes a very good comment there. Write the note. This will be on the quiz. End of the year quiz. Okay, so when we just started Wooting, we already said it then that we have this one mission is to make analog keyboards the industry standard. And I think from the start until so far, we've always kept this in mind, but we had to put so much attention and focus on the Wooting one, as in developing the product, making the firmware and software work as intended, and making the experience on the Wooting one itself a pleasant experience. And that was quite the, let's say, struggle to go through in the beginning. And
Right.
we've been at it now for like how many months to do this? I would say since the first, it's already happened before delivery, but actually when people really start using it is when you really, really get into it. Was it like not a year, 9 months, something like that. But now now that we have the Wooting 2 coming, we really want to show not just that we have a full-size keyboard, we also want to show our next step in making progression towards our mission, in our mission, towards our final goal is to make analog keyboards industry standard. So that's where the Wooting developer portal comes in.
Yeah. I think like
yeah, sure, go ahead.
sort of starting where the idea for the Wooting developer portal came from, because before we talked a lot about open sourcing, right? And our idea back then was that will sort of allow other people to play around with the keyboard and like try and make their own applications. But it was also always like very daunting to us, because open sourcing a project is a lot of work. because you need to make sure your code is right, code is documented, that people can actually make sense out of it and contribute. And we never really got to it because the hurdle was just too big for just me to open source what we have. So we try to look at something that is something we can sort of incrementally create, and also something that is just for the developer a lot easier to use instead of having to learn like this whole open source project we have just to make something simple. So that's where the sort of idea of the Wooting developer portal came from, which is just like, okay, we have this DLL or this library, and you add the library and you do some functions, and that's it.
So, what is let's see how we're gonna kick this off, because that was a really good introduction for why the Wooting developer portal.
Yeah.
But let's say,
And I think, I mean, and also from the very start, we always envisioned the Wooting one to be a keyboard that people can play around with. Like it should be something customizable and also something that people make cool stuff with. That was always the dream, that we have this keyboard and we envision it as this sort of vessel for allowing creativity with whatever you want to do. And we already saw a lot of it, like keycaps and even some color modifications. But now we can also, but now we also want to allow it on the software side.
and we also, in the meanwhile, you did give some access to a couple of different projects that were
Right.
free to work on something, and some of
Yes.
them produced some results,
Mm.
which are really great. But that's also, the question would also be why the results are so limited, was because
Yes.
the access they had was very raw, is how I want to describe it.
Yes.
Meaning you really had to take your time to wrap your head around it and really understand how it works, and then it
Yes.
takes a lot of time to actually implement your ideas,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. You want to for somebody that has an idea, or in this case, a developer, maker, whatever you're gonna call it. I'll come to RGB control later. This will sort of jump into RGB control, but you want to have something that, let's say you have this idea, you want to make something, right? Let's say you have an idea like, um, I don't know, I want to do Discord notification on my keyboard, for example. Let's pick a random example here. And but then
Super random.
super random, and then so what you want to do is you want to connect this idea about Discord notification and displaying it on your keyboard, and you just want to connect that, and you don't want to figure out like how. Of course, it can also be interesting, like how something works on the keyboard and blah 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 blah. But what you actually want to do is like, okay, just like this key, and that's it. And that's something we wanted to strive towards, and that sort of and in this Wooting developer portal we made a split between two things. One is reading the analog values, and two is the RGB control.
So,
And
so if we, let's start with RGB control, if you're going to focus
right,
on one of the two.
yeah, because the people are already
Uh-huh.
talking about it in chat. Yeah, so RGB control is something also like asked a lot about from the very start, and I think what's mainly been holding it back is trying to think of a way like how to combine it with our current utility and our current infrastructure without like it influencing too much. So for example, if you change like colors of the key, what will happen if you change like profiles on the keyboard or something? Or but
Let's start from a little bit more top view, because you're getting into the issues you're running
yeah,
into right now.
yeah. Yeah, that's what I figured.
So let's view it a bit more top. With RGB control, with the custom RGB control, what are different kind of things you can do. So you mentioned you can have, what can developers do in this case? So you mentioned with Discord, you would be able to link Discord notifications with the keyboard. There being an event on the keyboard, one kind of RGB event on the keyboard based on something happening in Discord.
Right.
But what are other kind of examples?
I think like there's also, of course, the Tommy said, like the music visualizer. But what you can also think about, and I don't want to jump into this whole like chroma stuff that Razer is doing, but you can, like, in theory, make like custom integrations for whatever games or applications you have.
So that,
And it's,
go ahead.
and our goal is to make that as simple as we have this function and call it and set this key and that's it. And I know that a lot of like Logitech is doing it for the RGB products. Logitech recently released their Discord integration too, and a lot of people are doing it because, but it's also like, it's also, well, there's something else that we also really want to do, but this is something more. I mean, we wanted to work with our keyboard. We also wanted to work with other people's products, but that's also more of a long-term goal.
Make it more independent.
Yes.
But what we've also noticed is, for some other companies that do have access to custom RGB control, or some kind of SDK for RGB, that it can be a hot mess and it's really shit to work with.
Yes.
Which really sucks if you're a developer, you have this idea, you want to make an implementation, and that's also where we want to separate ourselves from.
Yes. Yeah, it should be. It should be like that. Anybody that, I mean, the sort of the goal is that people that are not programmers, but they have this sort of idea, they can use it. So that's one goal. But on the other side, somebody that is actually a game developer or whatever developer, and he has this sort of whole idea in his head, then he should also very easily be able to implement this idea. So we want to support this wide spectrum. So that's why it needs to be very, very clear and very clean. That you need. So that's why if you look at like how we structured it, we have some functions that just allow you to set like a single key, but also like sort of reset it to the original color. But we also have functions that allow you to set the entire keyboard in just one single call. So I can imagine something that if you want to make something like a notification for I don't know, for whatever, for an email or a Discord message or whatever message, then even if you are not a developer, then you can still at least like make a one function call. So we'll also add examples like how to do that. But if you're a game developer or an application developer, we also want to allow them to make even crazy animations or something. And of course, but even for them, it should still be easy enough that they can just send the entire keyboard, and that's sort of it.
So then we have Dami, who says, when an app is connected, use the color scheme app is giving, I can write a Trackmania 2 integration.
Yeah. So I mean, the goal we have right now, or the thing we have right now, is that we still put a lot of, let's say, responsibility in the developer's hands, in that it's still the developer's job to detect like when something is running or when the integration starts. So for example, in this Trackmania integration, that either you still need to launch it together with Trackmania or something, or whatever you're making. So it will not be like our utility will detect that a Trackmania 2 is running. Oh, Streamlabs, when you're talking about my suggestion. Is it better now? Hello, Calder?
Yeah, I'm still here. I can hear you fine. Just,
okay.
Well,
I'm waiting until chat. I think we have a huge delay in the stream.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just continue talking and we'll just see what happens. So I'll just start over with
I'm also noticing that you're moving on my screen, right? Let's do this.
yeah, I moved a little down, I think.
Yeah, you know what? I have no idea why.
Huh?
Like literally my browser then moved more down or something. Okay, anyway.
Okay, so back to the Trackmania integration. So we were first thinking like maybe with RGB control we'll do something that sort of has the base in our utility, like the utility will sort of detect what applications are running, and then you can make like a plugin, like what you also suggested, for example, and that will run from the utility and will do like all the RGB control from the utility. And I think like I think it's better than what we have right now. It's just like first of all, it's a lot more difficult to implement well, and second, it also forces people to have the utility continuously running, which we're not a huge fan of. So what we have right now is just this completely separate, this completely separate simple library that you can just either add to your applications, or also let's say you want to make like a custom Trackmania integration, then you'll have to make something that either run yourself, that you will run yourself when Trackmania launches. And the applications you make yourself with RGB control will just completely override whatever the keyword is doing right now. And what you can do at the end, like when you finish your application or finish whatever you're doing, you just call like a reset function, and the colors will just sort of go back to normal. And that's how you can make the
So based on
make the color integration.
so based on if you're focused on the specific application or not, or if you have the specific application open or
Mhm.
not, the keyboard will change, right? So once you close the application, your keyboard just change back to whatever
Well,
is
but
default,
that's
right?
something you have to implement yourself.
Okay.
Because if we were to do it, then the utility has to do it.
Yeah.
Do you see
Uh,
what I mean? And it gets
this
very
is
like complicated and difficult to use very fast.
this is
So
also, I guess, has to do with the part where we're trying to do our best to avoid having the utility to run in the background or something like that.
yes, yeah.
Yeah. So nobody
That's it.
likes to have additional
No.
software running and
Hmm.
bloating up.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, that's always sort of the goal. Like ideally, this um, what we have right now, it's more aimed at game developers in a way, because it's something they can sort of add to the application and will just start running when their application is running, and when their application closes, they also close like our stuff, and it just gets back to normal. That's sort of like the normal procedure. But that doesn't mean you can. But you can also just use it if you want to make something for yourself. But you're also responsible in a way for making sure it closes or it goes back to normal again.
yeah.
But it's also like you don't necessarily have to. You don't necessarily have to, but it's nice to the user.
So this is concerning RGB control.
Yes.
Now, when we look at the custom analog control,
Hmm.
can I assume that it kind of works in the same way, but then it's more
Yes.
about input coming from the keyboard?
Yes.
So, what is oh, before I go too deep, before I make another step, let me check what Darren has to say. Logitech makes the background app optional. If you close it from the background apps at the clock, your gear goes back to the onboard settings,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's something we could do too. But
Yeah.
yeah, I
But
think that's a good idea. But what we talking more about is, I mean, what happens, for example, when you launch a certain application, you have custom color integration for it, or when you want to. Let me think.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah. I'm not really sure. Like it's sort of dependent on like what you want to i- in your application. You can also make some sort of plugin system where the colors will. No, I'm not really sure where to go with this, but anyway, I think I think once we have like our own example more worked out, we will also be able to present it a little easier.
Yeah. But this is, I guess, also the reason why uh, when we just launch, when we officially launch the Wooting developer portal, it's by far not the finished version. As in, it needs to go through feedback round, which
Yeah.
it's really missing right now.
Yeah.
So there's going to be
Yeah, it does.
yeah, there's going to be initial implementation,
Hmm.
and then see how it feels and works for people, and then
Yeah.
based on feedback, make an new iteration.
Yeah. Yeah, but I can definitely see how we want to have something that is more like uh, organized by the utility itself to make it like even more easier to use and like sort of the more annoying parts like
Mhm.
resetting your keyboard or uh, I don't know, like just sort of checking if your keyboard is connected, that all that stuff is handled by the utility. I think I see something moving on my webcam caller. Do you?
Oh, right. So see, this is like the issue with okay.
Yeah.
Because
Okay. Anyway. So
okay.
the next one is the analog reader,
So
and the analog readers is really like our first step in trying to make the analog keyboard something native. And we had a way before how to get like the raw analog values, but it required you to like sort of read like the some USB interface yourself and also parse it yourself. And that was just very hard to use. Like there was some people that used it, some people asked for it and used it, but it's not a whole lot because the barrier of entry was just too high. And what we tried to do with the analog reader is that you can just there's two ways you can use it, and one of them is something like a way that also a lot of game engines work, is that you can just call a function and you just say, okay, what is the value of this key? So let's say you have like a game and you want to check like, okay, is the W key pressed or not? Like, do I have to walk forward or not? And then you can just sort of call this function and it will just update the value and everything, and you just get the raw analog value for a key. And there's also another way you can use it, which is more like, okay, what keys are pressed right now? And you just sort of get this list of keys that are being pressed right now. And it's just sort of the way you want to use it, it doesn't really matter. It's just sort of based on either what you think works best or what your application supports. But at least it's something simple like, okay, this is the key number and this is the analog value and that's it. There's no USB stuff or anything.
no complicated language
Yeah,
you need to learn.
exactly. And
And that's
yeah, Dom, you have a good point with you could do something like events. I've been thinking about that, but I for now will just leave it up to the developer to implement because it would make it more complicated, like to with what we use. So right now it's just very like more based on polling, let's say, instead of it actively sending events when something changes.
right.
Because what about game profiles, by the way? Will it be something like I have one digital and three analog profiles?
We have
Yeah, we're not
names.
really sure how to deal with profiles yet. Once we have some sort of auto detection. I mean, what I personally love to see is that you always just have some sort of uh, like yeah, just add new profiles indefinitely and just connect them with some sort of application or game. But then once we have something like that in a system that works well, then you can also ask yourself like, do you still need to have like the three analog profiles? But then I think that's something we'll just sort of have to see like how it works.
Um, that also comes into play about what our ideas are about the dynamic profiles, right?
Yeah, yeah, but this is more about dynamic profiles.
Yeah. Um, let's see. So now we covered Wooting developer portal, analog communication,
Yes.
and covered the RGB communication.
hmm
Um, see, Dami is bringing still up the profile stuff.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we can go a little bit into dynamic profiles. What we're trying to what we have, what kind of idea we have for it right now.
Yeah.
Because when we're talking about dynamic profiles, we're talking about when you launch your application or the game, that your keyboard profile changes into that specific application or
hmm
game profile you set up.
hmm
But uh, likely the utility will have to run in the background for that to be able to happen.
Yes, for sure.
And
Yeah.
um, another thing is that we want to make sure that when you launch a new game, that there's this, let's say, process whereby it makes it much easier for you to instantly get to play analog in that specific game.
Yes.
But that's very very challenging if the game doesn't have native support to start with. Then uh,
But I think like that is also even a thing we can also prevent from being something you have to figure out yourself.
yeah, and we'll be focusing on the most of the A titles first when it comes to that. So then when you launch a new game, there will be a process where utility will load up the right profile for that game or recommend a profile for you for that game. You just load it, and ideally you load it, you start playing, you're done, you're all
Yeah.
set. But there are some challenges. One being that very often you also need to change something in the game itself, so it does require a step from the user.
hmm
And the other challenge is that often enough, like recently, like PUBG, for example, game developers keep changing the fuck out of how they do stuff,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, which gets a little bit dangerous if that's also like right now we have like the PUBG example, no time to figure out what is the new solution if there's a new solution and that kind of stuff.
hmm
So it will take a while before it updates. Yeah. Um, but yeah, that's something we're really trying to get into because we also still notice that um, there's enough people that've been using the keyboard for a while but still don't understand the point of you being able to do analog control and use the keyboard at the same time, and
Yeah.
that actually activating digital keys and the activation point has no impact on your whole analog range. It just changes the point where the keyboard keys
Yeah.
activate. And
Yeah. I mean, ideally, you want to abstract the whole technology and just sort of come to this point where it just works.
yeah,
That's,
and that's where native analog um, comes best into play because then it doesn't
yeah.
matter which profile you are
Yeah.
because you just start up the game and
Yeah.
it immediately works,
Yeah.
and you're not happy with how they did the control scheme, you change some keys, it still
Yes.
works. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, that's the that's the main goal with the analog reader is that
Yeah.
the game developer can take it and they launch the game, they detect them with a keyboard, they use the analog reader to get the analog values, and that's it. And for the user, it's just this just smooth experience. And like, and if they want to, they can also add the RGB controls, to make it even cooler, but not a necessity.
Cool.
That's why also we made this sort of 100% split between them to just sort of allow you to either pick one of them or both of them. They will work together just fine, but they also work separately just fine.
I mean, and RGB effects just for a cool factor, right?
Yes. Yes.
Even what is it? A DAS keyboard came out with 2 years back with that 5Q cloud keyboard, which I think just recently started hitting the market.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit about that keyboard.
And there's so much shit about it.
Yeah. But that also really scared me, or it also really scared me into trying to make some sort of plug-in system for the utility or something, because I can imagine that something so ambitious will so easily turn into a hot mess.
Well, what's even worse is just that, in my opinion at least. So just to give some context about the thing we're talking about.
Yes.
2 years ago, DAS Keyboard came out with a Kickstarter introducing this Cloud 5Q whatever keyboard, and basically what it is a IoT keyboard, because it connects to the cloud so that you can see notifications on your keyboard. So the way they sell it is basically, let's say you get an important email, then in their software you set up that if you receive an email from a specific person, it will light up some keys, or you have like a to-do list, and the further you go through the to-do list, the more the number row lights up green, something like that, right?
Yeah.
So you can make all these kind of like, what they call it, widgets, I guess. But that's where it already goes wrong. As soon as you hear widgets, I mean, widgets have never worked out.
No.
Anyway, so by the time they finally got to actually producing and delivering the keyboard to the customers, which is now like 2 years later, I think they went through stages and let some people get early access and everything. But there's still like, outside of, other than the keyboard quality, okay, and how it feels and kind of stuff, where there's also some complaints, the software they developed for this specific thing is such a, from what I've read, is such a hot mess of stuff that just doesn't really work.
Yeah, but it's also something that's really, really hard to do right. I mean, there's a reason that most widgets fail.
For me, it was kind of like, just the concept itself to start with, okay, is kind of like, it sounds cool, but it's totally not practical. It's kind of like, it's not a very correct comparison, but it's just like flying car. A flying car sounds really cool. You would want to have one, but it's totally not practical, like impossible. Okay. Yeah. So, no, it's like, and then, you know, or it's kind of, okay, jetpack, really cool, okay?
Yes, but jetpack would actually be really cool and really handy.
Yeah, but then then they make the first jetpack version, right? And it's like really loud, and it's like,
right,
your imagination was here, but result is here.
What kind of drugs are you on, Calder? Hey, but
Anyway.
I am curious, Darren, what setup do you use for the mobile checkers?
Wait, we have an extreme delay, so it's not really smart to wait for the chat to respond on that.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So, like,
I wonder, like, how
so
big our
Darren, I
delay
have a
is.
question.
Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to sort of look at myself, like how see me talking, like how long the delay is, but I think it's like 20 seconds, maybe.
Could be, yeah.
No, it's really long.
Okay,
Anyway,
so
back to the.
we're gonna
Cool.
wait for an answer, and I go to the next topic meanwhile. So,
Yeah. Hey, do we just to close down the topic?
uh-huh.
You will launch.
Yeah, yes, Darren, are your mobile settings?
Yes, on the mobile settings.
Wooting developer portal.
Yes.
When can we see the
So-
first version? And does it work
Yeah.
on my Wooting 1? Or does it only work for my Wooting 2.
I mean, ideally, it will work on both,
Well,
but it
but
so but there's no but. So, I
okay.
mean, so the projects themselves are done. The analog reader and the RGB control, they're actually already live. But I'm not gonna share anything yet. But you can probably find them if you really want to. It's just that you also need
You need to follow my
developer
Twitter.
firmware, so it's not very useful anyway. Uh, but I mean, let's say you want to make a integration or you want to start right now. Send me a message on Discord and we can get you started already. And last thing I want to say, yeah. So we're just working out like the portal itself, like some examples. I found it already. Okay, yeah, it's not very difficult to find, I guess. That's also the goal, in a way. But what do I want to say? Oh yeah, we're just making the examples right now. Some example codes and also like a description about how to use it, and then we'll launch it.
We'll have a fancy developer portal website,
Yes.
which is really cool.
Mm.
All
But
right.
familiar life.
So people can get started developing for Wooting 1 first, and then slowly also can integrate for Wooting 2, or does it work straight away?
I'm sorry, what? Sorry.
They can get started with the Wooting 1, developing for the Wooting 1,
Yeah.
but does that immediately make it compatible with the 2?
Yes.
Oh, I was kind of shaking no, probably, but.
Huh?
So, okay, so that was Wooting developer panel, developer portal.
Yep.
Okay, so
Next. What was the next topic again?
Kickstarter.
Did
We're
somebody
going to
take
talk
notes?
a little bit about Kickstarter,
Yes.
and um, and there's a question by Bowie. I'm just calling it Bowie because that's how the English version of his name is. Future keyboard can frame thin, not package. So you kind of need to ask it in the same thing in a different way because I'm not entirely sure what you mean. Because I
Okay.
don't think it's referring to the actual packaging, I assume. So ask it again, but in a different way. Okay, so about Kickstarter, what's that video you just posted?
It's a vlog.
Oh, okay.
Calder. Our vlogging. Our vlogger
Yay!
is back.
I last week, so last week, first day, I rented the studio. Let's see, I rented a studio and did all the Kickstarter recordings in a single day, and we had 8 hours to record everything. And at the same time, I also decided to record a vlog, so you could take a look at how it kind of works. Kind of worked out, but you're gonna see a lot of the stuff you saw there back in the Kickstarter video,
Yeah.
Kickstarter 2 video. And now we just have, what's that, 18th now, so 12,
Two.
13 days.
Yes. So what day will
The
will we have
31st
another show?
of May we'll launch the Kickstarter.
What day is that?
That is a
Thursday?
Thursday, yes.
Oh. So this is
Everybody on Thursday, the 31st of May, get ready. We have to figure out a good launch time because there is a damn, I forgot the name of the reward. That's kind of sucks. What's it? No, I forgot the name of the reward. But it's the first person that backs the project can get it for 100.
You mean the past one that Callum just missed last time?
The one that Callum just missed last time. Cheapest keyboard around, but
Yeah.
there's only one spot only one person can be the first, and it will be the cheapest price, like losing money type of price, just for the first person that backs us. Damn.
Yes.
But not free.
Yeah, but it's gonna be cheap.
It's gonna
Well,
be
it's gonna be
damn cheap. So,
cheap, but it's only gonna be one.
but there's only gonna be one.
Yeah.
And that brings us into the rewards. This week,
Wait,
we will. Wait.
back to one thing I wanted to say about the vlog.
Oh.
I really like the part where you showed like the cameras and also the sort of explanation about how some shots are made. That really adds a lot to the Kickstarter video, as a behind the scenes thing.
Yeah, gives more
Yeah.
insight. And
Yes.
cute drawings from Erik. Oh wait,
What
cute drawings from Erik. Wait, do I still have them? I think I do.
drawings? Oh yeah,
Yeah, the storyboard.
yeah, that was great.
This
We
is
should
me.
publish it.
I'm the stick man. Hey Kickstarter. Oh wait, here. I'm Calder.
I love those ads. It's like
I did. Oh, we were missing something.
I really like the part where all I could hear was street noises. Yeah, that's the one for you. Scooters everywhere.
Really, yeah, it really sucks. The camera doesn't have option for external microphone. I really want to have a new camera for this kind of stuff. New vlog camera. That'd be really awesome. Wooting, please. Hello. Need a new camera? If Wooting 2 succeeds, then I'm going to get a new camera with Wooting money. No. No, but then I'll get a new camera because we're going to
for the
vlog.
production season 3.
Exactly, because we're going to vlog production season 3,
Cool.
where we go through the whole production of the Wooting 54, just like the Wooting 1. So then Wooting vlogs will be back. Yay!
Yes.
So, so that would be awesome. Okay, shit. I forgot. What was the next thing?
Sorry.
Where did I
Our
go?
rewards.
Not a second screen. I still don't have a second screen, by the way.
Wait, so my face, what you're recording right now, is on one screen?
Yeah. That's why it's a
Oh my god,
jump
that is bad.
It's like my screen is divided in two right now, and
One
you're
of
in
it is
this.
my
You're in
face.
this side here. And it's recording, so that's why you just could see something appear just earlier ago. Okay. Okay. Sorry. So guys, I really need a second screen. I'll start a GoFundMe. The link will be on the. They cost pennies these days. To be honest, for the same money, I'd rather get a better camera so we have better vlogs going on. If I would buy something for myself, and otherwise, Wooting just needs to afford a second screen for me. It's ridiculous.
Office supplies.
Okay, right. So,
Kickstarter rewards.
Kickstarter rewards. Start Patreon. I'll start in every video. I'll start crying. YouTube revenue ads.
Yeah. Oh
I
my
get
all our
copyright
vlogs are
striked
demonetized.
and blocked, and it's the what was it? The YouTube
Adpocalypse.
the Adpocalypse. That was it.
Our stream videos get demonetized.
Actually, a couple of our streams that are on YouTube right now that you can review are copyright striked, as in other people. Because of the music we're playing in the live streams, there are a couple of companies that copyrighted the videos and added ads to it, so they're earning money on our videos. Yeah,
God.
I already changed a couple, but yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay. And by the way, if I get a second screen, the screen I'm looking at will be the second screen. Then the first screen better be a better screen, which would have to be an upgrade from a normal 180 60 hertz screen. Otherwise, it's
Yeah.
like investing in poop.
Yeah, better get a 1440.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And and at least 120 hertz. All right, so okay, rewards.
Yes.
Okay. Actually, Pleasant, we use royalty-free music, but it looks like it's not that royalty-free after all. It's more like use our music so we can copyright claim it and earn
Yeah.
money on your videos.
That's actually pretty smart. To just
It
stay
is
with the
very
royalty-free.
smart. Okay. My investment in being more productive, by the way, is to be not at home. That's the only
Yes,
investment I need
that's
to
all.
make. Yeah.
Oh my god, yesterday was. Oh yeah, no, okay, no,
Okay,
no, we need to
okay.
focus.
So
Focus.
different topic,
Focus on
different
everyone.
topic. You see, I'm at home, so it's hard to focus.
Yes.
Okay, so Kickstarter rewards. I can't announce anything about the exact price,
Jesus Christ. Is this all
but
we've been waiting for?
but this coming week we will release a blog with a full overview of the rewards plus the prices. What I can
Yes.
tell you is what type of rewards we're going to have,
Okay, good.
right?
Tell me.
So we'll have separate switches will be available. We'll have a Wooting 2. We'll have a Wooting 2 with separate switches.
Dun,
Dun
dun.
dun. And we'll have Wooting 2 with double the separate switches.
Genius.
And to top it off, do you know what the next one is?
Triple switches?
No, actually that would have been more logical, but
No,
five
it doesn't.
times a Wooting one for yourself and all the buddies. I don't expect this one to really work out, but five
Five times
times
Wooting 2.
a Wooting 2. I mean, sorry, not a 1. Wooting 2. Still no price. I'll go sell my Wooting 4 Razer keyboard now. No.
Then,
Because the prices are so hot. No, okay, I'm not going to do it this way.
hot.
I can tell you that we changed one big thing from the last Kickstarter. The first Kickstarter we did, let me start with this. On Kickstarter, we need to use euro prices because our company is based in the Netherlands, so we need to post it with the euro price. But there's one big issue. Everybody in Europe, in euro prices, expects the price to be including VAT. And that's what we did with the first Kickstarter as well. But the bad side of it is that if you're living in the US or outside of Europe, you'll see the price in your own currency. And in the US example, you'll start to see let's say, the 200 euro product becomes in the current rate, the $245 product. Well, the reality is that we want to sell that same product for $200. So, are you following?
No.
Just like
Okay,
just
give
like
some context. So,
so
right now, let me take one step back, Albert. So right now, in our web shop, our euro and dollar prices are the same. And the reason we can do that is because even though currency exchange like a euro is worth more than a dollar, but in Europe we have to pay a lot more taxes, so it evens out. But on Kickstarter, you cannot, they don't support multiple currencies, so we can only get a euro price. So it's impossible for us to make the euro price and the dollar price the same. That's the problem, right?
yes, so basically, if we put the euro prices on Kickstarter, everybody
Yes.
in the US and outside of Europe will start paying 21% more for our taxes, which they
Yes.
don't need to pay.
Yes.
Yeah. So when we launch this Kickstarter, the thing we've changed is we'll put the prices excluding VAT, so excluding the taxes in Europe. So the people in the US will see the actual price they'll pay for it, and the people in Europe will well, initially the price they see in euros, and then when they get into the shipping options, they'll see the added VAT taxes, um, and then it evens out to what the price is supposed to be. And to add to that is it's also a big benefit for you to pay the VAT taxes at that moment, because if you import any product or other whatever from China or wherever you buy it from outside of Europe into Europe, it's not just that you need to pay the VAT tax at that moment when it enters your country. No, you also need to pay the custom duties of that particular product, which can be more expensive. And you also need to pay the VAT and the custom duties for the product value plus the shipping cost. So let's say your shipping cost was like, let's say you buy something from the US, costs you $100, then the shipping is an additional $30, then it enters your country, and then the customs will come knocking on your door saying, hey, now you need to pay an additional 21% over the $130, and that is the product plus the shipping. Yeah. So multiplied by C price, brah. So anyway, we will, in this case, what will happen is we will import the product, do all the VAT and customs issues, and you just get it for the exact price that it's supposed to be.
Yes.
No surprise, like no custom bills, issues, delays, communication, anything like that. Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
So, and Domi has a good comment, like multiply euro price you see on the website by 123% before you decide to back it. I mean, ideally, on our website and on our blog, we will not like list the euro price and then just do like a small note. Oh, by the way, you have to multiply. That's like the whole reason we do it is because Kickstarter sort of forces us to think of a different system to make it fair for everybody. And this is the sort of what we came up with because it's what we think the only option we have. And so it will be like a very clear indication, like this is going to be the end price. And even though like Kickstarter might list it a little weird, at the end of the result will be like the price you expect. And we'll just have to make sure that it is also like clearly listed on the Kickstarter page, like this is the price you're going to pay in the end.
And I see Archimate77 asking, but if you do Euro without VAT or Europe without VAT, we will have the same? If you're trying to say that the same as what the no, I don't know, the same as what. The same as what? Basically, what will happen is the prices will be excluding VAT on Kickstarter. And if you live in the Netherlands, for example, when you have to pay for shipping, you'll pay an additional 21% in VAT tax. And we take care of everything. That's it. You don't need to worry about anything else. It will be shipped at your door within Europe. No issues.
Yeah. But there is something we are definitely worried about, which is that for people from Europe, we're not really used to seeing prices without VAT.
Yeah.
So we do think like we're pretty worried about like how it will look on the Kickstarter page and everything. But it's I don't know. We feel like in the end, it hopefully we're sort of scared that initially like people will think it's some sort of we're trying to get more money after you already clicked the back button or something. But it's something we sort of have to do to make sure that people that don't use euros also get a fair price.
Yeah. And then for Dami, as your tax consultant, I can tell you, you will not have to pay 23%. You will have to pay 21% because we will pay the VAT taxes for you, but we just have to pay the Dutch VAT taxes and not your local VAT. we don't start paying your local VAT unless our sales are over an X amount in your country, which will not be the case in Poland.
Well, 2% discount. Buy now. 2% discount. Let's,
That's definitely, yeah, that's literally a 2% discount.
yes. Yes.
Yeah. And then if you're living in Germany, I don't know if there's anybody from Germany here. If I'm right, you have like 19% taxes. Well, lucky for you, we have a German VAT number coming at some point, which we're still requesting and waiting for. And we just have to charge you 19% tax.
Oh, whoa. Can we make this any better?
Well, if you live in UK,
Yeah, what about the UK?
it's
How
kind
does
of
that
the
work?
same story. I also have a tax number for the UK coming up.
Yeah, but how much tax do they pay?
I forgot.
So,
Maybe 20? I forgot. Callum can answer that one.
he's
But
still
you
here.
guys in UK are kind of screwed though, because you still need to pay in pounds. You're gonna pay the conversion rate stuff in pounds, that kind of stuff. Yeah. No, but if you live in Holland, you're gonna be taxed 21%.
Yes.
Yeah. There's no special trick there,
Yes.
sadly enough. But if you live outside of Europe or in the US, there's no additional tax. But if you live outside of the US and outside of Europe, so let's say in Malaysia, Thailand, Korea, anywhere, Taiwan, no, anywhere like that, then you'll pay your local import taxes when the product is being imported. Well, after we ship it to you. Yeah. So shipping cost, and then we have the shipping cost for the Netherlands is going. Let's see, Netherlands, Germany, no, I'm not allowed to say UK just yet. Uh, Austria, Belgium, that includes Ukraine, but there's no Belgium layout. Uh, what else? What
US?
else? What else? Yeah, well, this is Europe, which is definitely free shipping.
Mhm.
Contemplating about what to do with UK and France because it's more expensive and stuff. And then US is free shipping. S-
Okay, I'm
Uh,
moving to the US now. It's ordering too. But
you,
then you don't get your 2% discount.
well, you can come to Taiwan, pick up your keyboard if you like. Then saves you money. But I don't think that whatever it says will. Uh, I think the ticket and everything's gonna be more expensive.
Yeah. You know, you know,
Uh, Canada.
for for an iPhone 10, you can actually pay a ticket and go from Holland. If you buy a flight ticket, you go to US and buy an iPhone X and go back. It's cheaper.
Gotta be kidding me.
It is because the euro price, first of all, is higher than the dollar price, and then also the conversion rate.
Yeah, yeah. But then they just also switch currency. This currency symbol. That's it.
No, it's even more expensive in euros.
Oh wow. Okay, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I thought they just swapped the currency symbol. So that was it.
Yeah. Apple needs to make
Uh,
more money.
Canada will ship keyboards to Canada from the US, and unfortunately, I don't know how you guys normally do it, but from what my understanding is, we always ship from North Carolina to Canada for, I think about $25. I forgot what it was exactly, something in that range, with USPS, and I don't know if you have import fees or something like that, or taxes, local taxes in Canada when you import stuff from the US. I don't know if they have like a special trade agreement or not.
Okay.
Uh, let's see. Buying iPhone is even more expensive in China in comparison to the US. Oh, really? Well, that's actually not a big surprise, I guess. Unless you build one yourself.
Did you
Uh,
guys from the video? Yeah, Callum, we're definitely doing test quests again. Yeah, hopefully not as many as last time, but it's definitely part of the cycle again.
For keyboards, there's no import fee in the US. There's only like the standard customs import fee. I don't know if it's the same for Canada. I'm just assuming it is. All right. Uh, so we just shared a bit more about the rewards. Basically, okay. So basically, the rewards. This price stuff is the most complicated part about the rewards, I guess, with the whole VAT stuff. But the point is, in the end, is that everybody is going to get the fair price, and
Yes.
I dare to say, it's cheaper than the Wooting One Kickstarter.
What?
Yeah, it is
For
basically.
dollar.
It okay if you if you live in the U.S. That's how I should phrase it.
Right.
And if you live in Europe, I feel your pain, man. Uh, but that's reality. Your government taxes you 20 plus percentage on everything you buy. That's 1/5 of the total amount. It's crazy.
Oh boy, just in time to have missed 90% of his team. Yeah, this is it. You're basically missing 100%. Good job. We even started 2 hours later than normal. Maybe that's because why you missed it.
Can you sell just a numpad? I'll tape it to my keyboard myself.
Yeah.
I wish we had such a elegant system that it would work that easily. But it's a lot more complicated than it sounds.
Yeah, don't be so crazy. Just make
Yeah.
a numpad and then just
It's
supply
crazy
it with some duct
complicated.
tape. It's like
Uh,
we made this revolutionary new system.
Doo-doo. So, and then the last part about rewards is when you think about the keyboard price, think about our biggest competitors with also a full-size keyboard, right? And then it's that range.
Hmm.
That's what I'm keeping it at. And then you'll see the final prices on
When
Kickstarter.
when will we launch it?
Uh,
Blog. Sweet.
it will be launched on the blog this coming Wednesday. No, whoa, huh?
Huh?
Earlier. No, Wednesday. Wednesday or Tuesday. Whoa, crazy. Whoa, huh?
What?
Oh, sorry. I was looking a week further. That's why. I was like, whoa, next week Kickstarter? Oh, no way. Oh, holy shit. Okay, it's next next week. It's the next week Wednesday. Okay. Oh my God.
Heart attack.
Jesus.
These kind of things are not good for your blood pressure.
No. Okay. So, is there any? Oh yeah. Okay. Oh right. Last part about this. I'm digressing a lot. Okay. We kind of need to round up the stream also.
Right.
Okay. Last part about the whole reward stuff is that we want to avoid any complexity like we did with the first Kickstarter as much as possible. We don't want to. We want to avoid this stupid stretch goal and all of a sudden unlock something whatever, because you know what, in the end that's always the thing that delays everything. um, so it's always going to be, it's just going to be everybody do their best, get a keyboard, and the more we raise the better job we can do, and we just
Yes.
try to make the best we can, because that's what we always try
Yes.
to do. So the only thing I can argue is that maybe at certain thresholds we'll start making more different type of languages, but um, that's about
Yeah.
it then. Yeah. All right. All right. So
That's it.
yeah, we're kind of like, did we have another agenda point?
I think so.
You'll get a Lenny face Easter egg when you open utility.
Yeah, just like a quick quick recap of because the Kickstarter will be in 13 days, right? So what will happen between now and then? Like what can we look forward to?
Between
We
now and
have the
then,
reward block on Wednesday.
yeah, we have the reward log. That's kind of it, actually. There, if Eric gets the chance, there will be a bloopers video for the Kickstarter video. If he gets the
Yes,
chance,
bloopers videos are always
yeah.
good.
But there's no promise for that because it's more kind of like we kept it as an optional thing.
Okay.
But it's mostly just a Kickstarter rewards blog. That's the biggest. I mean,
Okay.
and reality is like we reality is we need to think of something that we can create a little bit of a hype before the launch, so more people get on, get ready for the launch.
Get on the hype train.
Yeah, and yeah, but don't have like we're kind of out of ideas what we can exactly do. The giveaway was really great. We had a lot of, and when we did the first video launch was also great. The the render video, the Wooting 2, the announcement. But we're kind of lost with what we can exactly do right before the launch that will also like bring more attention to it. Right.
Yes.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But there's definitely something coming right before the launch. And that's
Right.
sort of. And will we do a live stream after the Kickstarter just launched?
Yes, but we're also going to use Kickstarter livestream, whatever new thing they have since a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so the livestream will be on Kickstarter.
Oh.
But if the Kickstarter is total shit, then we'll disappear. Then we'll be on Twitch. It's so nerve-wracking, you guys. I have to be honest. It's really yeah, it's really nerve-wracking too.
That's scary.
Yeah, it's very scary. No idea what's going to happen. Really, no idea. Okay. Oh my god, I wish there was that. This is like the last stream before the Kickstarter. I'm kind of yeah. So I don't know if we will do another before it launches. Oh, maybe on the launch day we'll be live. But that might be fun. But no.
Yes.
Should stream on the Microsoft platform. Is that called Mixer or something, right? Or
What?
Blender?
There's a Microsoft platform for streaming?
Yeah. No, well, no, it's the Microsoft version for streaming. I think it's called like Mixer. I forgot. It's gaining
Okay.
popularity, but I don't think. Yeah, we'll see. All right,
That's
let's
it?
close it up. We did a half hour longer than the usual aim. The usual time frame we're aiming for. If there's any follow-up questions or any problems, you can still find us on Discord. If you want to rewatch this live stream and hear about Jeroen talking about the Wooting Developer Portal, you can watch the whole stream back again on YouTube tomorrow after we've exported it to YouTube. There will be no time stamping. I'm sorry for that. Just literally no time, and yeah, just no time for it. That's very plainly put. And for me, I'm not going to bed just yet. I'm going to chill a little bit before going to sleep. But soon, yes. All right.
That's
Then,
it.
yeah.
See you at the Kickstarter.
See you at the Kickstarter, yeah. See you at the Kickstarter. Thank you guys for joining.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.